Hulk, Juggernaut, Kingpin, Magneto, Terrax. What do all these champions have in common? They've all been buffed. And I'm going to go over 6 champions, so one from each class, on who I would like to see get a buff in, obviously, Marvel Contest Champions here. So this is all my opinion. So if you want to leave your picks of who you would like to see get a buff, feel free to comment, unless you comment like some like OP champion you need to buff, just like, what do you want about? So I'll fill this by 6 stars, because obviously most of the characters that are in the game are 6 stars. And I have some of them I don't. So we're going to start off with Science class. Now, Science is quite a hard list. It's quite a hard thing to pick from, because, all the top tier Sciences, they're very, very good. Like I said, I listed Hulk. He's like one of the best buffs we've ever gotten. And, the Science class is very, very OP. So what character would I like to see get a buff? And that's classic Captain America. We've seen, obviously, we got buffed Iron Man last year with Gladiator. So what if, back to back, when Shafra comes out, who won the Champions vote, the Summoner's Choice, what if we get another buffed character to go along with her, and it adds Captain America, because this guy hasn't been relevant in the game whatsoever. Like, he's never been touched. His abilities, like, if you want to see what the game was like back in the day, dude's a perfect time capsule. Like, basic bitch synergies, basic bitch awakened ability, just basic bitch stuff. Like, if anything, most of these champions I'm going to go over, they are so basic. They're not even outdated. These guys are prehistoric, some of them. Just look at those abilities there. Perfect block, fatigue, and stun. So, like I said, not even outdated. Dude's prehistoric, which is quite fitting for Captain America. But yeah, I really do want to see a buff to this guy. What that would be, I don't even fucking know. Like, there's nothing even in his kit that could, like, just be tweaked just a little bit. It's just like Iron Man. Dude needs a whole rework. Like Magneto pretty much got a whole rework. So did Jugs and Hulk. So this guy needs a full rework. Because Captain America, he's such an important character. Like, the Captain America movies, they're probably Winter Soldier came out 10 years ago this year. Still one of my favorite Marvel movies to date. And the only decent Captain America we've got is Infinity War. So, and yeah, World War II one was relevant at one point in the game back in like when he came out, essentially. So yeah, but this dude definitely needs something. Maybe it's something along the lines of like the Red Guardian buff. I know, obviously not a direct copy, but something similar to that. Definitely something similar to that. So yeah, that is my pick for Science, classic Captain America. And moving on to skill. Again, skill, for me, was a pretty easy option, because ever since the Netflix show, I've loved this character. You can definitely see where I'm going with this. And it's Daredevil. But it's not the Hell's Kitchen one. It is instead, again, the classic version, or just regular old Daredevil. This dude has, again, not been relevant at all. Actually, no, because he was actually pretty decent back in the day. I think it was his radar sense, was the best. Yeah. With a more acute sensory, evade projectiles, which, to be fair, when people, couldn't dex anything, and, when the player base was relatively unskilled, I think, or, just not quite there yet. I think that's probably the correct term. Daredevil, that was basically the most decent thing in this kit. And again, just like with Captain America, very, very basic. Although the special attack 100% chance to boost critical rating, that's pretty good. That's pretty decent. Which goes along with the special 1 and 2 crits. And also he's able to bypass miss. So there's definitely some potential in Daredevil here. But yeah, this dude, definitely a full-on rework is needed. But again, I do think this dude definitely has potential, more so than Captain America, because like Captain America, he's so basic that he could just be a completely different champion. But there is still stuff in here that sounds good on paper, but because this dude's so outdated, it doesn't really work in modern MCOC. But, you know, like I said, the chance to evade projectiles, that could basically just be put into his basic kit, I'd say. So he could basically get a new SIG ability, which would be very cool. Definitely keep the bypass allowance to bypass miss, like, because Ironheart has that. Bullseye has it. Some other characters, was it Kate Bishop as well when you throw a heavy? So that can stay. And also keep the special crit rating on special attacks that boosted for 100%. Keep that as well, or maybe just increase it slightly. But yeah, I do think. Yeah, I'd really would like to see a reworked Devil. Obviously, Daredevil, Hell's Kitchen or Netflix Daredevil has his fans, but his buff wasn't. It was all right, but not spectacular. But I really would like to see a rework to classic Daredevil. Moving on to Mutant. And obviously, we're getting the Mr. Sinister buff. I think that's coming in the next update, I do believe. So these off the table, obviously. But there is one champion, and I know a lot of people are saying, Brideriser, you're going to say Wolverine. No, I'm not. Look, we've got Wolverine Weapon X, which if that's the best Wolverine we're going to get, perfectly fine with that. You know I'm a big Wolverine fan. No, it is a dude who has received a lot of justice, how he was treated in the X-Men movies, but now in X-Men 97, it has become exceedingly more popular than he was back when he was just Wolverine's bitch. Take a shot every time I've said bitch in this video. I think if we wouldn't be even got past Daredevil at this point, but it is Cyclops. Again, very, very basic. Because, yeah, and hopefully with this rework, they change the blue team to Cyclops 97. I think that'd be very, very cool if this dude ever gets a buff. But yeah, like I said, again, these three characters so far, extremely basic. Just look at those basic synergies there. I actually don't even know what his signature ability does. So beings are collaborated for up to increased crit rating based on SIG level. As long as the combo of 10 or more is maintained, Cyclops Arm Break have 20 increased duration as long as a combo of 20 or more and is main. Okay, so that is a little bit interesting. I don't know if that could be worked into just put into his basic kit or not. But yeah, because obviously, his optic blasts are basically the main thing that makes Cyclops Cyclops. So, I wouldn't mind him just how, when his beams, they get big armor breaks, because I think that's what he already basically does already. But I'd like to see here, just a complete rework of his kit. Obviously, I'm no champion designer, obviously. But yeah, just make him like, the armor break mutant goat, because there's not a lot of mutant champions that can armor break him. But there are characters that are just mutant characters that are based on, instead of just like prowess. Actually, maybe with Cyclops he could be a prowess armor break buff dude. I think that'd be quite cool. So I'd like to see him do something with that. But yeah, I do think you know, with X-Men 97 coming out, part of me kind of wishes that, you know, Nightcrawler, obviously we've got the Nightcrawler buff out of the blue. Kind of wish we've kind of got the Cyclops buff instead, but I will happily take the Nightcrawler buff. I'm so glad that dude got buffed. But yeah, I do miss the days when Kabam would just like add champions based on like movies or TV shows, or just like buff them because of, you know, movies and TV shows. You know, wish those days would come back, man. But yeah, that's my pick for Cyclops. That was my pick for Mutant Cyclops. I don't think a lot of people would disagree with that. You know, Beast as well is probably another decent one as well. Now, Cosmic. Again, some, you know, Cosmic class is pretty OP at the moment, unless we're talking like the 7 stars roster here. But, you know, there's one champion in this class, and I think a lot of people will agree on this. It is Groot. I think Groot's definitely the worst champion in this game. Just flat out, there is nothing good about this character. Apart from he gives a load of Mystic champions Mystic Dispersion because of it always I am Groot buffs. So you have an really easy time fighting this guy. But yeah, Groot. Really, why? You've done Groot so dirty in this game. Like, wasn't even that good to begin with. I think he was just a little bit bulky. That's really it. But yeah, dude hits like a noodle. Yeah, I mean, I just don't really know what to say. Like, just he's Groot, you know. Again, I think just like the other dudes, needs full rework. There's just nothing really going for him, really at all. He's got bleed immunity. That's really about it. I didn't even know he could inflict a bleed on his special 3. But yeah, I just wish this guy would I just wish this guy would be good. Like, we've got King Groot and we've got Deathless King Groot now, but where's the love for just plain old Groot, man? I want to see this dude get buffed so much. Like, maybe just like put some... Obviously, definitely give him a buff on attack. Definitely. Like, again, this guy hits like a fucking wet flannel. That's probably like the weirdest analogy I've used all day. Yeah. Definitely give him a buff on attack. Just like some I am Groot buffs. You know, when he gets I am Groot buffs, he gets stronger. Sort of similar to like how Hulk does when he gets the Furies. You know, when he gets hit, he gains Furies and all that. Or when you hit the opponent, he gains Furies. Make him something like that. Maybe the sound cue, I am Groot. Although, would that just be as annoying as when you hit how the ducky quacks? Nah, fuck it, do it anyway. Yeah, love to see this dude get a buff. I think a lot of people agree with me. Because, you know, most of the Guardians of the Galaxy, like obviously the group in the first like 3 movies, they're very pretty good. Maybe apart from Star-Lord. Star-Lord's getting a little bit outdated now. But yeah, that's my candidate for the Groot. The Cosmic class, Groot. Moving on to the last 2 classes, we've got Tech. And I'm picking for Tech the Green Goblin. Like, this character's so iconic. Obviously, he's like Spider-Man's arch nemesis. He's even got his own fucking relic in the game. And I personally think that relic's quite good. But yeah, this dude, annoying special attacks to avoid. And I do think that if this dude had more defensive purposes, if he had more like defensive purposes, I do think this dude would be a very annoying defender, because like, you can't evade the special 1 unless you're Silk. the special 2 can be incredibly annoying. Special 1 also power drains you. The special 1 also power drains you too. But yeah, I think for a character that's so iconic and is, obviously very popular because he's a Spider-Man villain, and Spider-Man's one of the most popular, superheroes ever. But yeah, I think something could be done. Obviously, how Gamora's got the Godslayer strike. You get, obviously with the obviously you got Green Goblin's pumpkin bombs. Maybe, when you throw a special attack, you gain and you have that pumpkin bomb hit. Because I know they all of them have a pumpkin bomb hit in the special. Maybe when that pumpkin bomb hits, it you get something decent with Gamora's Godslayer strike. Something maybe that happens with Green Goblin, or maybe you have a pre-fight and you can select the pumpkin bomb, what sort of debuffs it can do. I think that'd be quite cool. And this guy's regen sometimes can get out of hand. Sometimes, not all the time. But yeah, that'd be quite cool. But yeah, I do think that something needs to happen to this guy. This dude is just so iconic. And yeah, especially hopefully with Spider-Man 3 on the PlayStation, I really do hope if the Green Goblin buff coincides with that game, because I do think Green Goblin's going to be in Spider-Man 3. Maybe this dude will finally get that buff whenever that game's going to come out. Or maybe this game will no longer be around when that game comes out. But we shall never know. But yeah, there's stuff in this kit that has potential. Like I say, here you can see with the pumpkin bomb thing, 90% chance to inflict weakness, chance to do poison. There's stuff in this kit that can work. I just think it needs to be more potent and more practical, I guess is the word, because yeah, this dude's not really got a lot going on for him apart from really annoying specials to avoid. So maybe just make him an annoying tech defender, like Kabam made Red Skull, funnily enough. So yeah, now we move on to the final one, and that is Mystic. And I was thinking about another character, which was going to be Loki, but I think for those of you who remember a time when Doctor Strange dominated this game, I think a version of that Doctor Strange needs to come back. Not into the same degree as it was it pre 12.0 when he got basically nerfed into the ground. Yeah, I do want to. I'd love to see just something similar to that, just not that OP. Because I think if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember back in the day, pre 12.0, when Alliance Quest was the big thing, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, and another Scarlet Witch, that was the God Squad of Alliance Quest. And yeah, what happened to this dude, man? This dude absolutely fucking fell off a cliff and straight to the bottom of the ocean when 12.0 came out. But there's some decent things in his kit, and I do think they could work. For example, his sig ability, put that into his regular kit. New sig ability, because all it does is nullify the opponent's buffs. That can just be its own kit now, because so many Mystics can do that either by hitting it or throwing a special. There's no need for that. There's no need for that to be in his own kit anymore. But obviously Sorcerer Supreme has her blessings. Doctor Strange has that as well. This dude's just a worse version of Sorcerer Supreme. and Sorcerer Supreme is a worse version of like pre-12.0 Doctor Strange. But yeah, like this guy's got. I remember this guy having decent regen, a decent armor break as well. But yeah, I think there's definitely potential in this guy. I don't, maybe it could be with like, just like a complete buff control champion. That'd be quite cool. Power drain and buff control, or maybe just buff control in general. Whether that be ending buffs really fast, sort of like Mojo and Absorb Man do with, or Absorb Man does it with just unblockable and indestructible, I believe, and immortality. Yeah, so something similar to that. I do think that'd be nice to see. So yeah, those are my candidates for buffs. So we've got classic Captain America, or OG Cap, OG Daredevil, or comic book Daredevil, whatever you want to say, Cyclops, Groot, Green Goblin, and Doctor Strange. But as I said at the beginning, let me know who you would like to see get buffed in MCOC. And yeah, that is it for this video. If you made it all the way through, thank you very much. If you like this video, feel free to like it. If you disliked it for whatever reason, that's fine. I have to go out my way to see them anyway. And if you like this video, check out some of my other content. Like my other content. Feel free to subscribe to this channel by making that red sub button, or is it white? Anyway, make that subscribe button grey, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.